Hello everyone, Zoe is here with another video and another guest. As you know, I'm passionate about helping graduate students and immigrants to get familiar with work industry and job demands in Australia, or helping those junior ones to get closer to their dream senior roles. Today, I'm going to interview Carol Ossher, who is an experienced Montessori teacher. If you want to know more, hit the subscribe button and watch the video. Hi Carol, thank you very much for joining us today to share your information with us. To start, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your career journey, please?
Of course, I would love to.
Thank you.
I'm Carol Ossher. I was born in South Africa, and that's where I became a professional teacher. And then my family and I immigrated to the United States, and I became exposed to the Montessori method of education. I was offered a position to work in a preschool, an early childhood setting. And so I took training, and then we immigrated and came to live in Australia, and I retrained in a different organization of Montessori, and then I took an early childhood degree in Australia because the requirements changed with the New South Wales Board of Education. And I then became the coordinator of our school, so I headed up the preschool. I facilitated staff meetings and supported all my peers and organized rosters and casuals, and that's how I had the pleasure of meeting you.
Oh, thank you. So why Montessori, Carol? Why did you choose Montessori?
It just came my way, and I actually had gone to apply for a job as a regular Year 4 teacher in New York, Westchester. And the principal said to me, "Look, do you know anything about Montessori?" And I said, "I remember studying it a little bit at college."
Oh, cool.
She said, "Well, how about we come down and have a visit in our preschool? I'll come back, I'll pick you up after you've been there for a little while and tell me what you feel. Because I can get regular teachers quite easily, but to be an early childhood Montessori teacher, there needs to be a connection, something that calls to you. See how you go." And that was the entry to the Montessori world for me.
And you loved it, you found a passion.
Definitely. I'm now an ambassador for all children's rights, I feel, the universality of the rights of the child, and I would love children and young people and young adults and older people to have the privilege of having the exposure to the Montessori method of learning and developing oneself.
That's right.
So I love Montessori.
That's amazing. So, Carol, based on what you mentioned, Montessori can suit different ages, like early childhood, school ages, university ages, and also age care. Like how parents or like people can just ensure that Montessori is the best for their children or even for their kind of like age parents?
Look, it's an alternative method of education. The goals and the curriculum is the same as any traditional educational institution. In that you have the same aims to achieve to help children grow and develop. It's just the method of delivery that is different, and the materials, the design of these hands-on, concrete, beautifully accurately designed manipulative materials that makes Montessori stand out from other methods of education. It's its philosophy, and it was founded by this woman, Dr. Maria Montessori, and parents need to observe and go and visit in a Montessori environment to see what happens, how the children function, and how the adults relate to the children and the other adults in the classroom. Well, it's not really called a classroom, because when Montessori doesn't refer to the adult as a teacher, they really are facilitators, and they link children to the different curricular areas.
That's beautiful.
And then the child is enticed to use the different activities that are prepared for them in the environment. So really, parents would need to do the research by going to a visit, by having guided tours around the environments, and obviously reading up on the method and the schools, and meeting other like-minded people and parents who are looking for the same sort of philosophy of education for children.
That's right. That's amazing. What qualifications and skills are required?
If you want to be an early childhood teacher, you have to have a degree in early childhood. However, you can work as a support teacher, an assistant, or and in that case, you just need to have the CCC training, which is college certificates of early childhood. But if you want to be the head teacher, you need to have an early childhood degree and then specialize in Montessori.
That's right.
That's early childhood. If you would like to be a primary aged teacher or adolescent, that's the high school. Again, you need to obviously have your, hopefully, Masters of Education or Masters of Education or teacher education degrees, or undergrads in arts and or sciences, and then transition and do the specialization in the Montessori, depending on the age group of children or adults that you want to support and work with. And then, as I mentioned earlier, there's also aged care, Montessori in aged care now.
It's amazing.
So you can take training in that as well.
That sounds great. So how is earning capacity and working hours in this field? If you're a teacher and you're part of a school, the benefits are that you can get school holidays. However, if you're in early childhood, a lot of early childhood centres are year-round. They operate for at least 48 weeks. It's very demanding in that it's physically and emotionally and psychologically demanding on a person, because you're giving all the time. That's right.
You have to be prepared, you have to be ready, okay, which is all teachers need to be prepared for children and create the environment ready for them to learn, which takes a lot of time. And the difference in Montessori to traditional education is there's no homework. Children don't take anything home to do at home. Everything is, they learn at school, at the environment in which they attend school. So that's one benefit of being a teacher. Yes. However, there's also after school hours, where you're helping and supporting parents, giving educational information nights or afternoons to help parents further understand the method of Montessori and how the lessons work. And the salary, if you're in early childhood and in daycare, there's an award. There's a standard salary.
That's right.
Depending on your qualifications and your years of experience. But teachers get paid better than just regular early childhood carers, unfortunately. But the earning capacity is, I believe, quite good. So you can earn, after reaching the maximum years of experience, you could earn $112,000 a year, and then you can rise up the ranks by becoming head of department or a vice principal or a principal of a school. And it depends on the school where you work, what kind of award the school is on, that dictates your earning capacity.
That's true, that's right. Awesome. So how do you see the future of Montessori, Carol? Where do you think Montessori is going to be in the future?
I think we had a very exciting point, because the different Montessori training centers and people belonging to the different groups in Montessori have been communicating with each other and wanting to work more compatibly, so that everybody accepts somebody else's training. And I believe that there's going to be a growth in the number of teachers coming into the Montessori profession, and I hope parents still realize its value for their children. So I think it's an exciting point in Australia that Montessori has been here for many years. And we recently celebrated Dr. Montessori's 150th. She would have been her birthday. So the method, the philosophy, the educational system has been around for many years, and it's universal. It's all over the world. And this country took to the philosophy very well. And people have supported it. So, and there are many schools and many options for parents to find Montessori.
Great to hear. That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
And is there any tip or advice that you're going to add for those who immigrated to Australia, they have educational background and they are interested to be a Montessori teacher, or for those who graduated from university or high school and they are keen to get into Montessori system?
Yes, I think firstly, young people graduating from high school, again, they need to go and observe and visit in the environment to see it in action and talk to people and question, to find out if this system would suit their personalities. And a good entry point to the profession, I think, for high school leaving people would be to take their educational training either through a college or a TAFE or the university, and then specialize in the Montessori. As regards immigrants, yes, I think it's given that they would have to have their qualifications assessed, and once they'd reached the required number of credits needed to be recognised as a teacher in Australia, then again they could research the options of different organisations offering Montessori training. So there are also options for taking training. One can study online now. You can study part-time and you can attend full-time courses. And the curriculum, the Montessori teaching is broken up into the different age groups. 0 to 3 is one training, and then early childhood is 3 to 6-year-olds. That's a different training. And then you can take the primary training, which is the 6 to 12-year-olds. And then you can take the adolescent training, which is 13 through 15. And depending on the school, that goes up in some schools to the HSC level, the high school as well. And then, as I mentioned previously, you can take aged care training, how to care for people in a Montessori context, but you would have to have background education in caring as well.
That's great. Thank you very much, Carol. Thank you very much for sharing your information and all insight with us. I'm sure it's going to be very helpful for my audiences. Thank you.
I wish all the potential teachers good luck, and it's a wonderful, rewarding profession, and small little pleasures can give somebody, a teacher, the greatest reward.
Oh, that's
just small little growth or experiences with a child or interactions with peers, colleagues. It just makes it a very unique and rewarding environment in which to work.
That's amazing.
Thank you for interviewing me so that I can talk about my passion.
Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, guys, hope you found the conversation worthwhile. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want me to produce more video like this for you. Thank you.